Hey Mohammed, I thought I'd just show you my full process, just for grins. I get my data from a company in Australia called Newgate. I check for updates. I've already updated, so it's not going to grab much. But when it does, I come in here and just reprocess the data for this platform, which is AmiBroker, and then I process my individual batch files. And the most important thing to do is just to change the date, save it, and run it. And then I'll get the other two ready. So I'm just saving it to the current date. So today is Friday, July 30th, 7:30. And we have just about finished processing the first one. Gated momentum is a lot longer process. The other two are very quick. So there's relative strength done, and there's volatility done. And that's all we need that for. Now I'm going to, in this working directory where we have this latest version of the bot, I'm going to delete these files that I've copied in there, the raw files. And now I will copy the ones we just created and paste them in here to be in that relative path. Okay. Now I pull over my Google Sheets. Go to the bottom, and the first thing I do is just change the dates. These are already correct and updated, but I'm going to show you my process anyway. So I delete those, highlight columns A through L, start your macro, get the range, update the quotes, and I'm good. And typically this data would not be here, and this data would not be here. So I'm going to go through that process just using the Google Finance function. And I manually copy it and paste it as a value. Okay, and then I just copy down the current P&L so the macro can reference and make those ranking decisions. But to actually execute this, I actually do have to process those files. I was going to use the raw files, but to use the Google Sheets macro, I can't actually do that. I have to use processed files. So I just run my little macro, which you've duplicated. But let me go find it. So this just moves a couple columns around, adds column E and column F, and leaves me this mess that I should just clean my macro up. But then I hit save. Do the same thing with the other two files. Oh, I've already done volatility. Okay, now I've got my source, so I'm just going to copy the ticker and the rank score and paste it into the show range part of the macro, fill the table, enter today's data date, make sure its strategy is correct, highlight the current open position, so anything that's an enter or a hold in column L, get that range, tell it to start in row 524, and it should execute. Right, so this will be a boring part that you probably want to skip over, but I'm going to include it anyway. I just manually go up and look at these dates. So I find BSX and I just echo that. I can hit Control Enter and that will copy down. It gets most of them right. I just have to compare. So Procter & Gamble was entered today, Apple was entered today, Nvidia was entered today, but Gilead Sciences was not, so I got to go change that one. BMY was not, so I got to change that one. And Netra Energy was also different. Then I just reference the current action date, copy that down for all enter positions, and then I go make sure these dates are right. J&J is actually different, so I got to grab that. Coca-Cola, Starbucks, Visa, and Microsoft. Now for those dates that are not today, I have to use that index function. Reference the date. And what I mess up, I don't know. Oh, I didn't reference the symbol. There we go. So I copy that to anything that's not today's date. And there are a few up here that are the exits as well that need that index preface. Now I just do the Google Finance function by itself without the index. And then I copy all these and paste them as a value. Then I manually copy down my take profit price. And for those that will be entered on the next trading day, I just delete the information in G, H, and I in those cells. The exit date is the same as the action date, so I just reference that and copy it down. Then I highlight columns A through L, get the range and get the quotes. And then I copy the days held calculation and the current P&L and paste that in any row where it's an exit or a hold. I forgot to get that date or that entry price, so it's today. Copy and paste it as a value. Okay, so now we're good on that. That allows me to populate the trade actions. So I have this filtered. I go in and delete the conditional formatting first. Then I copy down these rows, which will bring over the data that I just updated. Looks like I need to add a few more rows. Okay, and then I re-filter it and just show the action date for the next trading day, so 8/2. And then I conditionally format the current profit and loss column, and then I would screen grab that and paste it into my newsletter email. Then I move over to the top 20 and I just enter in about 25 or 26 rows, copy what I had previously, paste it in, change the date to the current date, delete the data. And to paste this data in, it's easier to add temporary columns. I'm pasting this from my output spreadsheet, the processed version. Then I copy that and paste it, retaining the formatting, and then just delete those extra helper columns. And then I'm good. I can copy this, screen grab this, and put it in my newsletter. So that's done for the momentum tracking. I'll do one more included on this recording. Let's do the volatility. Did I just close it? There we go. So I've already updated this data, and I updated this data, and I updated this data. So all I need to do is start with your macro, and then I'll copy the information from the output, paste it into the show range, fill the table, enter the correct date, change the strategy, select the current stocks, and tell it to populate in 342. But before I do that, I have to copy down the current P&L so it will know how to rank. And easy peasy, because my talented programmer wrote a cool macro. That's you. Okay, Wells Fargo. I just go up and grab that date. There's my fun dogs. Citigroup was today. Qualcomm was today. Raytheon was today. Disney was today. Starbucks was today. GE was the 28th. That's correct. Facebook was the 28th. That's correct. Just change these entry rows to all be 8/2, and Morgan Stanley was 7/28, so I got to change that. Okay, now I can use the index function and I need to use that a couple times on the two exits that are not the current date. Now I need to use the simple Google function. Oops, missed the copy. Okay, now I copy all those and paste them as values. Copy my take profit price formula down. And populate the exit date as the same as the action date. And go grab the current range and grab the current quotes and copy the days held and current P&L to anything with exit or hold in column L. And we're good. Then I generate the trade actions. I have an extra step on this one because my formatting is a little goofy. So I have to copy and down these values, copy and paste down these values. Delete the conditional formatting. Paste it down so it grabs all of today. Then refilter it by August 2nd. And then highlight this with alternate colors. Yeah, I didn't get this copied. This process probably makes you cringe because you automate everything. That's why I hired you. And then highlight the current P&L and conditionally format that. And then it would copy and paste that. And then I manually add the extra rows. Copy it, change it to the current date, make that row a little bigger, get rid of the data, add helper columns, grab the tickers, and grab the ROC status, paste it and retain the formatting, nuke these columns, and then I'm good there. One thing I didn't show you that I should go back and do, because this is kind of what we were discussing, is the exit prices. So I'm going to redo this one just for reference. So we'll pretend that rows 325 through 339 are the most current day's data. To do that, I have to populate these with the current date. So I have to use the index function on these. So it'll take me just a second. And I want today's date, so I'll grab that from column B. What'd I mess up? I can't tell, so I'll do it over. What am I messing up? Oh, the current date is 7/30, so I can do this without the index function. So I'll do Google Finance. Well, if that's the case, I can just use your macro. So I'll highlight those. Get the range. Oh, I highlighted too many. Get the range, get the quotes. Okay, and then I would just get the opening quote for 7/30 for each of these symbols. Come on, load up. That took a long time. Pasted it as a value, and if I didn't have this trade P&L stuff copied, normally what I do is just go up and copy it and paste it down. So this information is in column M is what we need to generate the chart. And this is today's data. So on the open, on July 30th, the price of AMD was $101.60. And this is what I would generate for my closed trades. I don't send out closed trades anymore. I just use it to generate the chart. So, but I used to pull it over here. I don't know if I pulled this down, if it would. Nah, it's not populating correctly, but that's where I would get the closed trade data. Hopefully that's helpful. Let me know if there's anything else I can show you that would be useful for reference.